You can literally find people that are basically have their firearms trapped within their home, that either have to leave their home unarmed and unprotected, or I guess not leave the house for 40 days. Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the Daily Michigan Gun Control Bill News Channel. Yeah. I wish it didn't have to be this way, but unfortunately, they're introducing gun control bills in Michigan virtually every day, it seems. And we have yet another one. This is House Bill 4127. It is going to ban firearms at polling places and many other locations. It's way worse than just polling places. And I'm going to get into this in just 1 second. First of all, guys, I need you to share this video. There's not a lot of people talking about this. Also, check out Great Lakes Gun Rights. I'm going to leave a link to them down in the description. There's not many people right now raising awareness to this, and that's where you come into play. Because we're in a culture war right now. And there's two sides. There's people like us who believe in the founding documents. And we believe in America. And we believe in a republic if we can keep it. And while we all love the whole Bill of Rights, we particularly love the Second Amendment. Because it doesn't grant us our right to keep and bear arms. These are our natural rights that are endowed by our Creator. But it says, shall not be infringed. It says, don't tread on my gun rights. And I believe that the Second Amendment was put there for not if, but for when they come for all of the rest. And they're coming for all of our natural rights right now. Then we have the other side that seems to be wanting to tear down the core fundamentals of what it means to live in Michigan, to be an American citizen. I know a lot of you guys are facing struggles and challenges throughout these United States, and I appreciate all of your support right now, and I'm sending you guys much encouragement and love throughout these 50 states, and we all have to stick together right now. And we all have to stop this gun control or hold these people accountable who are literally trying to destroy the state of Michigan and destroy our country. Now, if you've been following this channel, you'll know I just reported on House Bill 4128 yesterday, prohibiting guns from places where absentee ballots are counted, and yeah, it's really bad. I also reported recently on 3 Senate bills that would enact a universal registration, licensing, and background checks for all firearms, including loaning a shotgun to your father to go hunting with. Red flag laws, which are insane. They call it take the guns first, then due process, which is no due process at all. It undermines half the Bill of Rights, completely destroys what it means to be an American. Also what they call storage laws, which empowers the criminal to come into your home, cock-locked and ready to rock while you're fumbling around with a cable or a safe while they're doing whatever they want to you and your family. I appreciate all of you guys sharing this on Facebook. Please share as much as you can. If you're watching this on one of those alternate platforms, come over to my channel and check out my videos, and you'll get caught up to date on all of the stuff that's been going on. There's also a live tab on my YouTube channel where I've done quite a few recent live streams talking about all this insane Michigan gun control that we're getting inundated with, including an awesome stream with Michigan State Representative Jamie Thompson. We had an awesome time doing it, and I think you guys would really like that one if you haven't seen it yet. So let me get to Bill 4127. And much like 4128, that came out just a few hours before 4127, this is going to be amending a public act, a law from 1931. Just think about that. We've had gun control in Michigan for like 100 years. And the more gun control they keep passing, Michigan keeps becoming less safe. Well, this is obvious because criminals don't follow laws. And they're not going to. And this only affects the law-abiding. This only affects you. And in my opinion, it seems like at this point, they're just trying to keep putting more and more bills through to make these into laws to make more criminals in the state of Michigan. It seems to me that many of these legislators in the state of Michigan want to make Michigan less safe. And the statistics are behind what I'm saying, and history's behind what I'm saying, and they want to make more of you law-abiding citizens that pay their salaries, by the way. Remember that. They work for you. They want to make you a criminal. And they want to infringe on your natural right to keep and bear arms, which is protected by the Second Amendment of the United States, and it's also protected in the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 6. And everybody whose name is on this bill that's going to prohibit guns from many places if this becomes law, they all took an oath to defend the United States Constitution and to defend the Michigan Constitution. Now, these are politicians that, in my opinion, are just trying to carry on an agenda, toe the party line, trying to win the culture war on the other side. But some of this is kind of shocking, and I highlight this one representative's name, not because I have any particular animus towards her. I'm just shocked. Representative Jamie Churches is yet again on here as one of the original sponsors. Now, she only won her district by a couple hundred votes, and her district happens to be very close to mine, and I know a lot of people that live in that district. So I encourage you to contact Representative Jamie Churches and ask her who put her in office and if she's representing the will of the people in her district. Because if I were to opine, that's certainly not the case. And she barely won. Okay, so it starts off with a whole list of places that you already can't possess a firearm in the state of Michigan. And it's been this way for a long time. Since 1931, amended again in 1994. All these places. I'm going to leave a link to this bill down there in the description so you guys can read it all, with some exceptions. And a CPL holder would be one of them. And a lot of you went, I'm exempt, I'm grandfathered. No, hold on. Not with these new laws. They're going straight for the throat on these. So they're adding a whole nother place of prohibited places where you cannot possess a firearm. And I'll cut to the chase and tell you who's exempt from this. Back to the normal, a uniformed law enforcement officer acting in the course of the officer's duties, and B, an individual who possesses a firearm in that individual's residence. I'll get to that in a second. This is literally crazy. Get ready for this. So, except as provided in subsection 4, which I just read it to you, that's the only two exemptions to this, a person shall not do any of the following. This is punishable by a misdemeanor. You could do up to 90 days in jail, $100 fine, or both. Just so you know, this is a criminal offense if this becomes a law, and we need to stop this from becoming a law. A, while the polls are open on an election day, possess a firearm in a polling place or within 100 feet from any entrance to a building in which a polling place is located. I'd be interested, what's the statistics? What's the crime statistics? Is this an actual problem? Do we have lots of shooting at polling places? I can't remember that ever happening. If anyone can find some of that research for me, please let me know. Because, yeah, this is a problem and looking for a solution rather than a solution to a problem, which I believe doesn't actually exist. B, beginning. Now, this is where it gets convoluted, so follow me here. And the link is down there in the description. Beginning on the second Saturday before an election and ending on the Sunday before the election, possess a firearm at an early voting site described in Section 4 of Article 2 of the State Constitution of 1963, or within 100 feet from an entrance to a building in which an early voting site is located. Where are these early voting sites located? If it's located in a building that generally has public access, say it's your township hall, and you're going there to pay your water bill, are they going to have a huge sign on the front now that says, warning, this is an early voting place now, and it's between the second Saturday before and the Sunday before, so no guns allowed? Excuse me? I have the right to protect myself going into these buildings that provide public accommodation 24/7, 365. Shall not be infringed means I can carry a gun whenever and wherever. So this puts you in a situation where, again, where are these early voting sites at? And when are you going to be there? This is a huge trap. But hold on a minute. It gets worse. Of course it gets worse. All of these do. For 40 days before an election, possess a firearm within 100 feet of an absent voter ballot drop box. And then, of course, that doesn't apply to uniformed law enforcement officers acting in their duties and an individual possesses a firearm in that individual's residence. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe these absent voter ballot drop boxes are throughout the state of Michigan. And from what I understand, they're planning on adding more and more of these. They might be on street corners, like how you would normally see a regular mailbox. So does that mean if there's a ballot drop box on the corner of Smith Street and First Street, and you live on First Street and your friend lives on Smith Street, so when you're walking to their house to have dinner, hang out, look at guns together, does that mean if you happen to walk by, because it's on the corner of the sidewalk, if you happen to walk within 100 feet of that, that would be a criminal offense according to the way I'm reading this statute? Now, if this ballot drop box is in a neighborhood, and you happen to live on the corner of Smith and First Street, and your house is right there, and let's just say from the front door of your house, and your driveway's right next to your front of your home, typical, typical setup that you could live in. If that ballot drop box is within 100 feet of the door of your house and your vehicle that's parked in the driveway, it says you're only exempted from this. It does not apply if it's in that individual's residence. So what does that mean? You'll have to get all of the guns in your home that you're ever going to have, and you can't like leave with them within 40 days before an election? So for 40 days, your guns would have to stay in your home because you live within 100 foot of a ballot drop box. And this says that you will only be exempt from this if it's in that individual's residence. It doesn't say outside of the residence. It doesn't say in your vehicle, in your driveway. It doesn't say anything like that. It literally says, the plain wording here is in that individual's residence. You can literally find people that are basically have their firearms trapped within their home, that either have to leave their home unarmed and unprotected, or I guess not leave the house for 40 days. This is craziness. They're going to call this the no guns at polling stations. They're going to say this stops voter intimidation. But I would note, is there an actual problem with this? Okay. And second of all, even if there is, we already have laws on the books in Michigan that make it illegal to do any type of voter intimidation, any type of harassing. And if somebody were to do that by brandishing a firearm, we already have brandishing laws in Michigan where you can't brandish a firearm in any kind of threatening or menacing fashion, as I believe the way the Attorney General's opinion on that law reads. That was actually Attorney General Granholm that put that opinion out quite a while ago now. So this would prohibit firearms from polling places, possibly different buildings, obviously different buildings that provide public accommodation, that you have the right to be at, that you need to do business at. This is also going to affect you potentially walking your dog down the street. One more thing, what if you are driving your vehicle and you have to stop at the stop sign on the corner of First and Smith Street because there's a stop sign there and you're just driving down the road? It doesn't appear that you would be exempt. It says it's only if you're a uniformed police officer, blah, 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 or in that individual's residence. It doesn't say in your car or your truck. This could literally get people charged with misdemeanor crimes because they had to drive by. There wouldn't even need to be a stop sign there the way this is read. Just if you're driving by a absent voter deposit box, right? I don't even know what to make of this. It's literally insane. And yes, I am going to encourage you all to call, write, visit in person, your state reps and your state senators. Call every last one of them. Email every last one of them. And look, don't see any reason why you would want to get rowdy or scream and yell at them because they'll probably just dismiss you summarily. But I'm not telling you guys you have to be like begging them for permission or being super nicey. No, call them and demand of them and say, I demand that you uphold your oath that you took to defend the United States and Michigan Constitution. And if they're supporting your right to keep and bear arms and they're opposing this and all these other gun control bills, you need to get behind them. Because we have a lot of good representatives and senators that are fighters. They're going after my senator, Joe Bellino. He's a fighter. He's going to vote no on all of these. He's very pro-Second Amendment. He's a fighter in the Michigan Senate, and the other side's going after him like crazy. So we need to get behind these fighters. My state representative, Jamie Thompson, she's a fighter. You need to get behind that woman too, because the other side's coming after her. And the other side's coming after a lot of good reps who are there to defend your natural right to keep and bear arms. So if they're with us, and they support the Second Amendment, Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 6, we need to uplift them and offer them support and rally behind them. If they're against you, and they're against the Second Amendment, you need to remind them that you and all of the people of their district are going to hold them accountable. There's a ballot box. They're up for re-election again every 2 years in the House. Look at all these reps right here. This is a House bill. Also remind them that there's a recall provision in Michigan law. So when I say to call them and remind them they work for you. And I think it does get you a lot farther to be professional when you speak to them. You know, you can do whatever you want. You have the First Amendment right to curse at them when you call and all of that. But I don't think it does any particular good. Just call them with your message. Just be firm about it. And then do what's most important. We need to try these people in the court of public opinion. So you also need to be talking to your friends, your neighbors, people at your church, your co-workers, people that you regularly converse with. Because when these politicians aren't going to uphold and defend the Second Amendment, this is the way this country was founded, it becomes a time to go over their head and go to the American people. And with these laws, go to the Michigan people. And we need to win this in the court of public opinion, and we need to win this culture war, because they're literally at this point putting out a gun control bill almost every single day. Check out my locals. It's a censorship-free site. I'm going to be providing updates on there as well as a bunch of extra content, including doing live streams where I touch guns. This is still a gun channel too. I just have to report on this stuff because they're literally doing it every single day. I'm also going to be going to Lansing again next week, and I will put the exact particulars and even give you guys like a map of where the parking structures are and stuff in the Capitol. This isn't a rally. This is just me going to meet with legislators. And if any of you would like to join me and learn how to meet your legislator face to face and tell them what you think about these gun control bills, I will be inviting you to join me in a post on locals here very soon. So check that out, and the link is in the description. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.